Hey guys, I'm really pissed off right now, and I look like hell, and I don't really care because I'm just too irritated to care. So I'm just gonna rant, and you guys get to benefit from somebody else's stupidity as usual. Um, so there's this thing, I don't know if you're aware of it, friends with benefits or fuck buddies or whatever you want to call it. Casual sexual relationships between two people. Um, and there's some rules that you should follow when doing this kind of a relationship because otherwise, everybody's just going to get hurt and everything's going to suck and, you're not going to get to have sexy fun times, which is what the relationship is supposed to be. A purely sexual fun relationship, not, you don't have to worry about the dating or whatever. So if you can't follow these rules, then you should not, if you're not mature enough to be respectful of somebody else's feelings in this kind of relationship, and respect these kinds of rules, which are pretty, among the sex positivity community, they're pretty solid rules that everybody kind of agrees on. If you can't do that, you're not mature enough or you're not responsible enough to do that. You should not be involved in that kind of relationship because you're not good for anybody, and you need to grow up and be more responsible before you do something really stupid and hurt a lot of people. So the rules are pretty simple. The biggest rule is agree on the terms of the relationship. This is pretty big for any kind of sexual relationship, I suppose. You know, are we boyfriend, girlfriend? Are we just friends that have sex with each other? Are we in a BDSM relationship? Whatever, any kind of thing. You need to establish what kind of thing that you're going to be in. What kind of ship are you in? Relationship, shipping. That's where that comes from. And what kind of ship are you? So in this case, so you need to say, okay, well, we're just friends who happen to touch genitals sometimes. That happens because, that's what we want to do. We don't want the messy relationship parts and going out on dates and meeting families and whatever. Like, that's fine. But you both need to agree on that. This is what we want. And then rule number 2 follows really closely on the heels of rule number 1. Check in with each other. Let each other know, you don't have to do that every time you meet up, but, like once in a while, like once every 2 weeks, once a month, however, you want to base that around how often that you get together to touch each other's genitals or whatever. You just want to be like, hey, are we doing okay? Are there feelings? Do we want to stop because there's feelings? Do we want to continue and develop a different kind of relationship because there's feelings? You need to check in with each other, and you need to establish, because otherwise, if somebody is starting to have feelings for the other person doesn't want it, then, that's not fair to either person because one person should not be responsible for another person's happiness. And that's a really important lesson that everybody needs to learn. You're not solely responsible for somebody else's happiness. I've learned this the hard way several times. Learn from my mistakes and just don't do that. Yeah, so check in with the other person frequently, not sporadically, but frequently on the basis of whatever kind of, frequency that you guys are meeting up. Just check in and, change the relationship as needed because that's important. And those are really the only 2 rules is, establish boundaries and then check in with each other and then change things as I guess rule 3 is change things as necessary, but, really that folds into rule number 2, which is an extension of rule number 1. It's all so easy to remember. Just don't be stupid about it, and do not include the word friend zone in any of this because that's the stupidest word that ever exists, and whoever coined it is a moron and needs to understand that the world is shades of gray and not black and white. And I know that I could probably tag this with 50 Shades of Grey now because I just said Shades of Grey, but, and I did mention BDSM, so maybe I will. Just, be smart if you're gonna have, other people's junk up in your junk. Just be smart about it because it's not something that dumb people should do. I know a lot of dumb people do, but just be smarter about it. Sex positivity. Listen to the Sex Nerd Sandra podcast because it's so good at being positive about everything, and it's funny and just oh. But yeah, a friend of mine is being an absolute moron about this kind of thing, and I just need to get it all out there, and maybe I can go to sleep now and not be angry about everything because people are dumb and not responsible when it comes to the thing that leads up to procreation. Because that's what it is. Okay, I will see you guys some other time. Okay, bye.